In the cold expanse of space, the Galactic Council's chambers buzzed with anticipation as Earth's newest diplomat, Dr. Lila Quinn, prepared to face the formidable Gathry Empire. Dressed in the sleek uniform of Earth's Interstellar Diplomatic Corps, she glanced around the circular room, where representatives of various alien races communicated through translators emitting soft, harmonic tones. "Delegates," Lila began, her voice cutting clearly through the murmurs. "I come before you in a time of dire need for Earth. Our planet is on the brink of a resource crisis that threatens the very survival of our species." Across from her, the Gathry delegation, a group of tall, imposing figures clad in armor-like suits, exchanged glances, their facial tendrils twitching in amusement. Their leader, Ambassador Threx, leaned forward, his voice a deep rumble. "Dr. Quinn, while your plight moves us, what can Earth possibly offer in return for our generosity? We are, after all, not a charity." Lila's eyes narrowed slightly, but her response was diplomatic. "Indeed, Ambassador Threx, we seek a trade, not charity. Earth's technological advancements in quantum computing and energy production are well beyond what is currently available on Gather. We offer to share these in exchange for access to your mineral-rich planets." A murmur of interest rippled through the chamber, as technology was a currency all valued. Threx, however, smirked. "And if we refuse? What then, Dr. Quinn? Does Earth have the might to challenge the Gathry Empire?" The room fell silent, the tension palpable. Lila stood, her posture rigid yet composed. "Ambassador, Earth does not wish for conflict. But make no mistake, we will do what is necessary to survive. You want to know if we're capable of war?" She paused, her gaze steely. "We are. But it's not the path we choose today." Threx laughed, a sound that echoed ominously around the chamber. "Very well, Dr. Quinn. Let us see if your technological marvels are as potent as you claim. We accept your challenge. A series of contests, your best minds against ours. If you win, you will have your access. If you lose—" He trailed off, an unspoken threat hanging in the air. Lila nodded, accepting the gauntlet thrown before her. "Agreed. Let these contests be a testament to Earth's ingenuity and resilience." Over the next few weeks, Earth's brightest minds were summoned to the Galactic Council's space station, a massive structure orbiting a neutral star. The challenges were broadcast galaxy-wide, drawing a viewership of billions. The first contest was a simulation of a complex environmental disaster on a hypothetical planet. Earth's team, led by Lila, showcased a sophisticated AI-driven response system that mitigated the disaster with minimal loss of virtual life. Threx and his team responded with a show of brute force, altering the planet's orbit to avoid the disaster entirely. It was unorthodox, dangerously so, yet effective. The Gathry scored the contest in their favor, arguing that their solution was more definitive. The second contest involved economic strategy. Earth presented a model for sustainable trade that benefited all parties involved. The Gathry's approach, however, was aggressive and expansionist, focusing on maximizing short-term gains. This time, the judges, swayed by the long-term benefits of Earth's plan, declared Lila's team the winner. The scores tied, tensions heightened. Lila felt the weight of Earth's hopes on her shoulders as she prepared for the final and decisive contest. It was a debate, the topic, the ethical implications of genetic modification. Lila argued passionately for strict regulations to prevent abuse and ensure the dignity of sentient beings. Threx, on the other hand, dismissed such concerns as sentimental and impractical, advocating for unfettered scientific progress. The debate was intense, with both sides presenting compelling arguments. In the end, the judges, deeply divided, awarded a narrow victory to the Gathry, swayed by Threx's vision of rapid advancement. The defeat was a bitter pill for Earth to swallow. Lila stood before the Galactic Council, her heart heavy but her voice unwavering. "We have lost the contests, but let it not be said that Earth shied away from its challenges. We will honor our agreements, as we always have." Threx approached her, his expression unreadable. "Dr. Quinn, your efforts were commendable. Perhaps there is more to Earth than we believed. We are prepared to offer a compromise, A joint venture on the mineral planets. Earth will have access, but under Gatheri oversight. It was not the victory she had hoped for, but it was far from a total defeat. Lila accepted, knowing this was the best outcome Earth could hope for under the circumstances. Thank you, Ambassador. Let this be the first step towards a more cooperative future. As Lila returned to Earth, she knew the galaxy was watching. Earth had shown not only its capability for innovation and strategy, but also its resilience and readiness to engage on the galactic stage. Though not a clear victory, it was a stepping stone, a testament to Earth's growing influence, and a sign that even in defeat, there lay opportunities for diplomacy and growth. As the Galactic Council space station hummed with the anticipation of the next contest, Lila Quinn reviewed the strategy with her team of Earth's finest minds. Despite the pressure, her demeanor remained calm, instilling confidence in her colleagues. They gathered around the holographic table, displaying models and simulations prepared for the upcoming intellectual duel with the Gatheri. The economic model we've developed could redefine trade standards across the galaxy, Lila explained, pointing to the fluctuating graphs and figures on the display. It's designed to promote sustainability and equality, qualities that the Council values. We need to present it as not just beneficial for Earth, but for all civilizations involved. Her team nodded, absorbing every detail. The plan was complex, incorporating advanced algorithms and predictive analytics to demonstrate long-term benefits over the Gatheri's aggressive expansionism. As the contest commenced, the atmosphere was electric. Billions watched as Earth presented a compelling case for a balanced economic system that prioritized ecological and social stability. The proposal was a mosaic of innovation, showcasing virtual models of prosperous societies flourishing under the new trade regime. On the other side, the Gatheri delegation, led by Ambassador Threx, presented their strategy. It was bold and straightforward, emphasizing rapid growth and dominance over weaker economies. In the race for survival, it is the fittest who lead, Threx proclaimed, his voice booming across the chamber. We must seize opportunities and capitalize on them before others do. The stark contrast between the two approaches sparked intense debates among the judges and the audience. As the deliberations dragged on, the tension was palpable. Lila stood firm, her arguments sharp and persuasive, advocating for a future where growth did not come at the expense of integrity. Finally, the judges returned their verdict. Earth's vision of sustainable growth won the round, the score now tied. Cheers erupted from Earth's section of the audience, a wave of relief momentarily washing over Lila. She allowed herself a small smile, but her mind remained focused. The final contest was approaching, and it was the one she feared the most, the debate on genetic modification. Returning to her team, Lila spent the next hours in intense preparation. The issue of genetic modification was contentious, involving deep ethical and philosophical questions. Earth had stringent laws regulating such technologies, but the Gatheri viewed genetic modification as essential to evolutionary progress. As the final contest began, Lila took the stage opposite Threx. The debate was direct and heated. Lila argued with passion and precision, her voice steady. We must consider the ethical implications of our scientific advancements. Genetic modification holds tremendous potential, yes, but without strict oversight, we risk creating more problems than we solve. We must protect the sanctity of sentient life, ensuring that all beings are treated with dignity and respect. Threx countered dismissively. Ethics? Dignity? These are luxuries of the weak. To ascend as a species, we must embrace change, even if it means making difficult choices. Our empire has thrived by pushing the boundaries of what is possible, not by adhering to outdated moral dilemmas. The back and forth was intense, each argument dissected by the judges and the audience, their attention rapt. Lila felt the weight of her words, knowing that they reached far beyond the confines of the debate. This was about shaping the future of interstellar relations, about defining what kind of civilization humanity wished to be. After what seemed like an eternity, the judges convened. The tension in the air was thick as they finally announced their decision. By a narrow margin, they sided with the Gatheri, swayed by the promise of progress and advancement. The defeat stung, a bitter conclusion to a valiant effort. As the chamber erupted in mixed reactions, Lila remained composed. She approached Threx, extending her hand. "May your advancements bring you wisdom," she said, her tone gracious yet tinged with a warning of the consequences unbridled science could unleash. Threx took her hand, his grip firm. "Dr. Quinn, your arguments were not without merit. Perhaps there is room for both our philosophies in this galaxy. Let us find that path together." As the assembly concluded, Lila addressed her team, her voice imbued with pride. "Today was not a loss but a lesson. We have shown the galaxy that Earth stands for principles, for a future where all can thrive. Let us continue this journey, not with fear, but with the courage to uphold what we believe in." The contests were over, but the dialogue had just begun. Lila knew the real work lay ahead, navigating the intricate dance of diplomacy and the compromises it entailed. Earth had lost the battle but gained respect and a voice in the galactic arena, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. As she left the chamber, her thoughts were already turning to the future, to the next challenge, and to the endless possibilities that awaited. Her resolve was firm, her mission clear, to ensure that Earth's voice was not just heard, but that it echoed through the stars, shaping the cosmos in the image of the peace and dignity she so fiercely defended. As the final challenge loomed, Lila Quinn felt the weight of Earth's hopes resting on her shoulders. In the dim light of her office aboard the Galactic Council space station, she reviewed her notes for the upcoming debate on genetic modification, a topic that could tilt the scales in this high-stakes intellectual contest against the Gathri. "We need to strike a delicate balance in this debate," Lila said to her team, her eyes scanning the room, gauging their resolve. "Our argument must resonate not only with the judges but with the entire galaxy. We're advocating for ethical constraints, which can seem limiting but are essential for safeguarding the dignity of life." Her chief science advisor, Dr. Emil Borg, nodded in agreement. "The Gathri will likely push for the utilitarian benefits of unchecked genetic research. We need to present a case that highlights not just the moral imperatives but also the long-term societal benefits of our approach." Lila leaned back in her chair, her mind racing through possible scenarios. "Let's use historical precedents as part of our argument. We can demonstrate the dangers of unregulated science and the potential for catastrophic consequences if these technologies are misused." The team worked through the night, refining every argument, anticipating counterpoints, and integrating real-world examples that underscored their stance. As dawn broke over the space station, casting a pale blue glow through the windows, Lila felt a sense of calm. They were prepared, but more importantly, they were right. The debate chamber was packed as the two delegations took their places. The audience, a mix of various alien species, buzzed with anticipation. The judges, impartial representatives from unaligned planets, called the session to order. Lila stood, her presence commanding the room. "Esteemed judges, fellow delegates," she began, her voice clear and strong. "Today we debate a topic that touches the core of all our civilizations, genetic modification. While the potential for scientific breakthrough is undeniable, we must ask ourselves, at what cost?" She continued, laying out her argument with precision and passion. "Without stringent ethical guidelines, we risk the very essence of what makes us sentient beings. History has shown us, time and again, the perils of uncontrolled scientific endeavors, when ambition outpaces morality." Across from her, Ambassador Threx listened intently, his eyes narrowing slightly. When it was his turn to speak, he rose, his stature imposing. "Dr. Quinn presents a cautious approach, one that stifles innovation under the guise of protection," he countered, his voice booming. "We believe in the power of science to transform our societies for the better. To restrict this progress is to deny our species the very advancements that could eradicate disease and suffering." The debate was fierce, each side parrying with well-reasoned arguments and sharp rhetoric. Lila addressed each of Threx's points, emphasizing the importance of oversight. "Freedom without boundaries is chaos," she argued. "Yes, we seek to eradicate disease, to ease suffering, but not at the expense of our ethics. There must be a balance. As the judges deliberated, the tension in the room was palpable. Lila's team looked on, hopeful yet anxious. The verdict, when it came, was a close one. The judges commended both sides for their compelling arguments, but ultimately sided with the Gatheri, swayed by the promise of technological advancement. The disappointment among Lila's team was evident, but she remained composed. Approaching Threx, she offered her congratulations, her gesture sincere. "Ambassador, may your advancements prove beneficial and your oversight wise," she said. Threx nodded, a hint of respect in his eyes. "Dr. Quinn, your concerns are not unfounded. Perhaps there is room for collaboration in our future endeavors. Your caution could be the balance our ambition needs." As the crowds dispersed, Lila addressed her team. "We may have lost today, but the conversation continues. We've planted seeds of caution and responsibility in the minds of all who listened. That is a victory in itself." Her words lifted their spirits as they considered the broader impact of their participation. They had lost the battle but had engaged in a dialogue that echoed throughout the galaxy, advocating for a future where science and ethics walked hand in hand. The defeat was a hard pill to swallow, but as Lila returned to her quarters, she felt a resolve settling in her bones. The challenges ahead were many, but she was ready. With each debate, each negotiation, she was shaping a future where Earth's voice was not just heard but respected. Back on Earth, news of the debate's outcome spread. While some expressed disappointment, many appreciated the stand Earth had taken. Lila became a symbol of integrity and determination, her reputation only enhanced by her steadfast adherence to principle. As she prepared for her return to Earth, Lila knew the real work lay ahead. The contests were over, but the diplomatic battles were just beginning. She was ready to continue the fight, to ensure that Earth's place in the galaxy was secure, not just through might or cunning, but through wisdom and the courage to do what was right. This setback was not the end but a beginning, a spark that would ignite change across the cosmos. And as the space station receded behind her, Lila Quinn looked forward to the challenges ahead, her spirit undeterred, her resolve unbroken. The echoes of the previous debates still lingered as Lila Quinn stood in the center of the Galactic Council's debate hall, her composure as unyielding as the resolve that shone in her eyes. She understood the stakes were high. This was the final contest, and Earth's last chance to secure a favorable outcome. Lila was aware that not only the resources but also Earth's future diplomatic influence hung in the balance. "As we convene for this final challenge," Lila began, addressing the assembled representatives and the galactic audience watching the broadcast, "let us not forget that the decisions we make today will echo through our civilizations for generations to come." Her opponent, Ambassador Threx, represented the Gatheri Empire, a civilization that prized strength and progress above all. He was a formidable debater, but Lila had studied his tactics and prepared meticulously. Today's challenge was a direct debate on the role of advanced technologies in war, a topic dangerously relevant given the current tensions. "Esteemed Council," Threx declared, stepping forward, his voice booming across the chamber. "Technological advancement in warfare is not only inevitable, it is essential. To deny progress in the name of caution is to hamstring our potential for defense and victory." Lila listened intently, knowing this was the crux of his argument she needed to dismantle. When she responded, her tone was calm but firm. "While it is true that technological advancement is inevitable, it must not come at the cost of our shared values and ethical boundaries. Progress unbound by moral considerations leads to destruction far greater than any enemy we might face." The debate unfolded with vigor, each participant laying out their visions for the future of interstellar conflict and defense. Lila argued for a balanced approach that prioritized defensive capabilities and non-lethal technologies, emphasizing the preservation of life even in conflict. Threx countered with examples of civilizations that had fallen because they could not keep up militarily with their adversaries. As Lila presented her closing arguments, she shifted her focus to the broader implications of unchecked military advancements. "If we arm ourselves without foresight, without restraint, we risk becoming the architects of our own demise. Let us instead invest in technologies that protect life, that ensure peace." This is the strength we should aspire to. The judges, a panel of experienced diplomats from various neutral planets, deliberated for what seemed an eternity. Lila's heart beat steadily, her belief in her cause unwavering regardless of the outcome. Finally, the chief judge rose, his voice echoing in the now silent chamber. After considerable deliberation, we find in favor of Earth's position. We commend both parties for their passionate arguments but must prioritize the preservation of life and peace above the pursuit of unbridled technological power. A wave of relief and triumph washed over Lila. The victory was not just hers but Earth's, a sign that the galaxy respected and valued the principles she had fought so hard to uphold. Threx approached her as the assembly dispersed. "Dr. Quinn, your words have given us much to consider. Perhaps there is wisdom in restraint. May our future endeavors reflect this new understanding." Lila nodded, her expression gracious yet thoughtful. "Thank you, Ambassador. I look forward to seeing how our civilizations can collaborate to forge a future where technology serves us all, without the shadow of war." As the news of Earth's victory spread, celebrations erupted on Earth and across various planets that supported her stance. Lila's diplomatic prowess became legendary, her name synonymous with integrity and visionary leadership. Upon her return to Earth, Lila was greeted as a hero. Yet, for her, the real victory was the opportunity to advance Earth's agenda of peace and ethical progress on the galactic stage. In the following months, Lila worked tirelessly, leveraging her newfound influence to forge alliances and promote technologies that offered defense without destruction. Her efforts culminated in the establishment of the Intergalactic Peace Coalition, a new body within the Galactic Council dedicated to fostering peace through technology and diplomacy. As she stood at the inauguration of the coalition, Lila felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Her journey had not just averted a crisis but had steered the galaxy towards a more hopeful horizon. "This coalition is not the end, but a beginning," Lila addressed the assembly, her voice resonant with the weight of her experience. "Together, we have the power to redefine strength, to ensure that our advancements as civilizations are not just in the weapons we wield, but in the peace we create." With the galaxy watching, Lila Quinn stood not only as a diplomat but as a beacon of a new era, an era where humanity played a crucial role in guiding the galaxy towards a future defined by wisdom, not war. Her leadership had not only resolved a critical resource conflict but had also set a new course for interstellar diplomacy, one where dialogue triumphed over destruction, and where humanity's voice was a clarion call for peace. The victory in the Galactic Council's debates had not only earned Earth a pivotal role in the interstellar arena but also placed Dr. Lila Quinn at the heart of the subsequent diplomatic initiatives. The chambers of the Council, once a battleground of ideologies, now served as the foundational grounds for drafting the terms of a new alliance, an alliance that Lila had fought so ardently to secure. She was aware that while the debates had been won, the real challenge of weaving these victories into lasting peace was just beginning. Lila, along with her team and representatives from the Gathari Empire, sat around the vast oval table that symbolized unity within the Council. The air was thick with anticipation and the responsibility of what they were about to undertake. "Let us begin by acknowledging the spirit of our recent discussions," Lila initiated, her voice steady and commanding attention. "We are here not just to draft a treaty but to forge a path that future generations will walk upon." Ambassador Threx, representing the Gathari, nodded in agreement. The previous tension between them had given way to a mutual respect, tempered by their shared aspirations for their civilizations. "Dr. Quinn is correct," Threx affirmed. "Our discussions have shown that while we may differ in methods, our goals are aligned: prosperity, security, and progress." The negotiations were meticulous. Every clause and article was debated with the future in mind. Lila proposed the establishment of a joint research initiative focused on developing technologies that would benefit all of Galactic Council's members while adhering to strict ethical standards. Threx suggested an economic pact that would allow free trade between Earth and the Gathari Empire, under the condition that it would not compromise planetary autonomy. As the hours turned into days, the draft of the treaty began to take shape. Each session was interspersed with breaks where delegates mingled, shared stories, and discussed visions for a united future. These interactions, though informal, were crucial in building the trust that formal discussions often lacked. Meanwhile, news of the ongoing negotiations had spread across galaxies, stirring public interest and speculation. On Earth, citizens followed the updates with bated breath, their hopes pinned on Lila's diplomatic prowess. Similarly, on Gather and other member planets, populations watched eagerly, understanding that the outcomes here would directly affect their lives. In one of the final sessions, Lila addressed the assembly with a proposal that was close to her heart: the establishment of an interstellar peacekeeping force. "This force will not be an army," she clarified, "but rather a team of mediators trained to de-escalate conflicts and ensure that disputes are settled through dialogue and not violence." Threx, who had initially been skeptical, saw the merit in her proposal. Such a force could indeed act as the first line of defense against misunderstanding and conflict. He conceded, his tone reflective of the change in his perspective. The treaty, rich with the contributions of many minds and hearts, was ready to be signed. The signing ceremony was broadcast throughout the universe, a testament to what diplomacy could achieve. Lila and Threx were the first to sign, their signatures symbolizing the new era of cooperation and understanding that awaited. As the ink dried, Lila felt a profound sense of accomplishment and relief. She had not only managed to secure vital resources for Earth but had also helped establish frameworks that would promote peace and cooperation among the stars. The aftermath of the treaty saw Lila returning to Earth as a celebrated figure. Parades and honors awaited her, but she knew her work was far from over. In her speeches and interviews, she emphasized the importance of continuous dialogue and vigilance to ensure that the terms of the treaty were implemented and respected. Under her leadership, the Joint Research Initiative flourished, producing technologies that revolutionized energy consumption, medical treatments, and environmental restoration across member planets. The economic pact led to a golden age of trade where both Earth and the Gatheri Empire experienced unprecedented growth and prosperity. Years later, Lila stood before the Galactic Council once more, this time to discuss the successes of the treaty and the peacekeeping force. "What we embarked upon years ago was seen by many as an idealistic venture," she reflected. "But today, we stand as proof that with commitment and understanding, ideals can be transformed into reality." Her words echoed across the cosmos, inspiring new generations of diplomats and peacemakers. Lila Quinn's legacy was not just in the treaties she had helped forge or the conflicts she had helped avert. Her true legacy was the belief that even in the vast and diverse expanse of the universe, common ground could always be found, and peace was always a possibility. As she retired from her role, confident that the structures she had helped build would endure, Lila looked out at the stars, their light a reminder of the enduring power of hope and cooperation. Her journey had been long, but it had changed the course of interstellar relations forever, proving that even among the stars, humanity could lead not just with strength, but with wisdom and grace.